Hello, my name is Carsten Neber. I'm Professor for Computer Science at Rhein-Waal University of Applied Sciences, and I'm also the leader or the head of the course Usability Engineering. And in the next week, we're going to have a sprint. A sprint is a 5-day in a row active course in which the students of the program Usability Engineering have to come up with a solution of something they haven't started to think about yet. And yeah, it's kind of surprise. It's a different way of work. Usually a human-centered design process takes quite a while, and we want to test whether a sprint week is capable of doing or creating user-centered solutions as well.
Hello, we're Usability Engineering students at Hochschule Rhein-Waal. We're having a sprint week for an applied research project where we have to come up with a project idea and apply the human-centered design approach. This is really a challenge because you have to start from scratch with an idea, then perform user research, interviews, design, develop, and create a prototype. Finally, applying usability testing with real users, all of this in 1 week.
Monday started with an introduction about the sprint approach which we would use for the whole week. After getting the schedule and the agenda for the day, we collectively generated the idea for the project. The idea was to create a platform where everyone can create, document and share the ideas and projects. We then listed down our long-term goals for the project and a list of sprint questions based on success and failure factors. Based on our long-term goals, we created a map that represented the core concept of our project. The map illustrated stakeholders, the activities, and the core functions of our platform.
To make sure our project follows human-centered design approach, we conducted 4 interviews with the users. These users represented the needs of our business stakeholders and typical user. We presented with them our map and success-failure factors, and we got some valuable feedback on how to improve our concept and what should we focus on more. Based on our long-term goals and the feedback we got from the users, we made some how might we questions. These how might we questions helped us to address the most important challenges we should keep in our mind. Then we collected all these questions together and grouped them into categories, and at the end of the day we got a clearer list of requirements that we need to keep in the mind.
Tuesday started with the lightning demos in which everyone presented their ideas individually in a 3-minute time frame. The results were impressive. We simplified our map based on the experts' feedback. We include each idea from the lightning demos to topic areas on the map. We spent 20 minutes to revise the ideas and gather notes and share the ideas we thought were most promising.
Everyone sketched their ideas focusing on elements of interaction and workflow. These solutions were collected anonymously and we left for the day. Then something magical happened. Overnight, the facilitator arranged our sketches like in an art gallery.
Wednesday, we had our art museums in front of the class where everybody's ideas are presented, and we just roam around and check it out and try to understand them and have discussions and feedback afterwards in order to find the $1 million idea. Later, we came up with 2 major concepts, which are everybody can and power of us, and then we split into 2 groups in order to come up to create storyboards for each ideas, for each concept. And then at the end of the day, we combined those 2 storyboards together in order to do the prototype for the next day.
So after getting the $1 million idea storyboard, on Thursday we started off with the prototype and usability test preparation. For that we created roles and we created 2 teams. Team A was responsible for the design and development of the prototype, whereas Team B was responsible for preparation of the usability test. Team A worked on the design and development of high-fidelity prototype. The design and development work was divided in 4 designers. All designers agreed to use one designing tool, which is Photoshop, and the prototyping tool was InVision. They also created design guidelines to avoid any conflicts.
Team B focused setting up the usability tests. That included defining test roles, tasks, and guidelines, while also setting up the lab. We use Slack for team collaboration, and even though the 2 teams were working on different locations, we managed to successfully and quickly work in parallel. At the end of the day, we had a prototype ready for usability testing.
On Friday, we conducted our final usability tests in order to test our prototype and to see whether it works and whether real users liked our idea. So we actually had 3 users to interview them in our usability lab. There was one room where the interviewer interviewed the people, and there was a one-way mirror, and the rest of the group was in the observation room and could see through the mirror and see what's going on and take notes. After that, we sorted the notes and we saw that it was really important to include the user at this early stage of the project, because we now knew that they liked our idea, they liked the prototype, and most parts of the prototype already worked quite well. We also identified a few parts which we have to improve, and afterwards we voted on 3 parts that were most promising to us and which we wanted to continue to work on. These parts were making the documentation easier, making the remaking of a project easier, and including a reward system for users in order to motivate them to contribute to our platform.
We hope you liked our sprint week. Feel free to ask anything or leave a comment.